Wow, a lot of people took a liking to the picture I had on social media yesterday. I'll get to that in a second. Um, you know what? There's like a lot I need to talk about today. I think I say that and then I like completely forget what it is. Right. So let's see. My low yesterday. Um, hmm. That's hard. I can't really think of any. Again, just because I can't think of a low doesn't mean there wasn't any. I mean, I guess the only one that really comes to my head is that it really rained hard yesterday, like really and truly. Like, I mean, the weather was. Everyone was expecting the weather to be like that yesterday, considering it was also like really really hot. But this just like this came almost completely out of nowhere. It was like pretty much downpouring. I mean, eventually it stopped, but at the same time, I'm thinking, man, we're just having some crazy weather lately. But at least it's not like overbearingly, bad. And plus, it's not like it's lasting like days on end. It's only lasting like a half hour, 45 minutes. Maybe it's coming in spurts. Uh, I don't, yeah, it's just sort of, it's a minor low, but I guess I'll use that for my low. My high yesterday is, well, yesterday's episode Hot Ones, which I will be getting into because, well, you'll see why in a few minutes. Not a few minutes. It's actually going to be like maybe a minute and a half or something. I don't know. And what was my act of kindness yesterday? Hmm. What was my act of kindness? I forget. Uh, hmm. I don't really know. Cause I didn't do anything. Well, this is something I do all the time, but I used it before, but for the life of me, I can't think of any other good thing I did, even though, I mean, I'm sure I probably did other good things. It's just, again, yesterday was also really quiet, too. So it's really hard for anything truly, like, significant to, take place. But one thing I do all the time is I like to hold the door open for people, and, that's what I did. Although, the one time I don't do that is at a supermarket, because they open for you when you step on a black rubber square. Okay, so, good morning, and happy Friday, everyone. We are at Friday. We are at the weekend, pretty much. And we have, actually, I need to look up the weather. It's supposed to be nice, but, you have to wait and see. So first things first, I said that I put a picture up on social media yesterday, and a friend of mine got me bit by the pickling bug again. Remember, I never named names on camera, so as not to embarrass or offend anyone. But yes, I made pickles, homemade. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I've shown you guys I can make pickles before, because those pickled onions I had, but. This is the first time I legitimately made like real actual pickles from cucumbers. So this was kind of new for me, like new ground. So overall the experience is pretty much the same. Really really any brine you can make is for any kind of pickling vegetable. So what I use to make the pickles, I could totally use for like onions or beets or carrots or anything. So Really, whatever brine you make is whatever you want to put in it. That's really all it is. There's no crazy tricks or any sort of underlying themes. It's pretty much water. At least for me, it's water, salt, sugar, vinegar, and whatever aromatics I used. Naturally, these were the water, salt, and sugar are exactly what they are. Vinegar, I actually used 3 different kinds of vinegar. I used apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, and white wine vinegar. I like to call that mix up apple rosé. Because, red wine, white wine, rosé. Anyway, and for herbs, I was just doing simple dill. I was doing dill pickles, so there had to be a lot of dill. I toasted some mustard seeds, toasted some coriander, and I toasted some peppercorns, which some of those things I actually need to get at the store at some point. And I toasted them for a few minutes, then poured the water in. And I also chopped up a bunch of garlic. You gotta have garlic. I love garlic. I love to pickle, but it's something I really gotta get in the mood for, because one thing is for sure, pickling, the process of getting everything right does take some time. And I consider myself a patient person, but even I have some limits. And another thing, pickling can be kind of messy. See, maybe there's a way to do it, I don't know. But I actually shoved there's no way I can say that without sounding wrong. I placed the pickles after I chopped them up into the jar. And after I made my brine with everything in it, I filtered out the brine, put the seeds and the garlic and the dill that were in the strainer. I kept scooping them out of the strainer, putting them on top of the cucumbers, because that's what people do. And then I poured the brine. And unfortunately, because there's air pockets everywhere and stuff like that within the jar after you put everything in, sometimes I don't know if you have enough, or sometimes you're overflowing. It's a really messy process. It really is. I think I spent a good extra 10 minutes cleaning up my kitchen counter from all the leftover seeds and garlic and stuff that was that weren't able to get in the jars. For the most part, I got a lot of it in, so that's nice. Another problem I had is, because here's the thing. I had 6 cucumbers, so basically if you saw the picture, it was, basically I had 3 jars, so 2 cucumbers a jar. I literally tried not to make too much brine, but in this case I had enough for 1 extra jar. It's weird. I'll get this ratio right someday. Again, I could have filled up another jar, just no more cucumbers, so can't really do anything about that. But again, maybe I'm just sort of overthinking. One of these days I'm gonna get that ratio right, and it's gonna be awesome, I think. So, yeah. Although, at some point I gotta get more onions so I can pickle more onions. I'm not a pickled onions. Anyway, let's talk about yesterday's episode of Hot Ones. So, yes. Unfortunately, my thoughts yesterday were exactly as they were. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was the season 12 finale of Hot Ones. Now, as I said yesterday, considering the state of the world that we're in right now, it really is lucky that we got a season 12 at all. So, to the good people over at First We Feast, Sean Evans, Chris Schoenberg, all the wonderful people behind that show. Thank you for going above and beyond the Call of Duty to getting us to season 12. You guys deserve all the praise and accolades in the world. So for that, I thank you. Now, in terms of the episode itself, once again, I said I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and this really got me to learn a lot about him. I liked how he talked about his worst audition because it was a learning process. I liked how he talked about how he actually did work as a Russian clown for a little while. That was really cool. I love how he talked about how VR may actually have a place in the future of entertainment, gaming, and movies. He has a band, Mount Rushmore. He talked about what else did he talk about? He talked about his favorite food scene in a movie, which is actually with Mickey Rourke, who he then later suggested that First We Feast get Mickey Rourke to be on Hot Ones. He'd be a great guest. That's what he said. That's actually really cool. I really like that part. What else did he say? Well, there's one thing I want to say for the end. I want to see if I can remember anything else. I can't really think of anything else. But the one thing that I want to say for the end that he did talk about is he talked. It was when he did The Last Dab, and Sean Evans' question was, you've gone off on record saying that Sesame Street is the greatest show of all time. You've talked about how hosting the Sesame Street 50th anniversary episode was the highlight of your life or career. What is it about Sesame Street that makes it so great? Or what's your favorite Sesame Street moment? And first he talked about how, it was an Oscar the Grouch moment in Sesame Street. That was his favorite Sesame Street moment. He talked about how Oscar was selling ice cream out of a stand, and he tried to get people to eat the spaghetti meatballs ice cream. Everyone else wanted strawberry. And, no matter what happened, he couldn't sell the spaghetti meatballs ice cream. Everyone else ordered strawberry. But then, eventually, he got someone to try spaghetti meatballs ice cream, and apparently they liked it. I forget what the last part was. But the point is, it's perseverance. It's awesome. That is something we can all totally learn from. And he also said how Oscar the Grouch is his favorite Sesame Street character. Although it got me thinking, who is my favorite Sesame Street character? Or my favorite Muppet character, for that matter? And for the life of me, I can't really think of any. I mean, here's the thing. Loving the Muppets are like loving my children. I do not have a favorite. I really do like them all. I love how quirky and colorful and fun they are. And I love how, this was a joke that the Blockbuster Buster once said, but 2 robots and 2 puppets can actually have more chemistry than the 2 leads of Twilight. The 2 robots he was referring to, C-3PO and R2-D2. They're not Muppets or anything, but, they had chemistry, is the point. But the Muppets in question were obviously Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. I mean, say what you want about how weird that relationship is. Their chemistry is great, and that's what makes for great entertainment. What can I say? I mean, again, I guess the whole perseverance thing sort of goes with, me doing videos every day. Not that I see this as a drudge or sort of a gripe to get through, but it's something I really like to do. And even if, one thing you gotta know, even if it turns out the rest of my day turns out to be completely miserable, I mean, sure, I share some of it with you, absolutely, because, sometimes I like to talk about my feelings, and that's okay. But for the most part, the day could be wind up being bad. Honestly, doing this always brings me that little bit of joy that I can usually carry with me all throughout the day. And that's something no one can take away from me. So, kids, this is a lesson, Just find something you really like to do. Stick with it. If it makes you smile, you're doing something right. And, I'm off to get ready to enjoy this weekend. Like, favorite, share, the subscribe button, follow me on the social media notifications on YouTube. I'm very humble made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. And hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. I'm going to be giving myself some readings today, so that's going to be good. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.